Yes, dearest co-sadhakas, come back another day, though the last day of this financial year. Evenings, we are spending these 2 3 hours in our attempts to mold our minds towards the truth or reality, the pursuit of which alone redeems us of all wrong pursuits, bondages, the pursuit of which alone takes us to the excellent state of being happy and not becoming happy and miserable. Although it takes time, it takes patience, it takes all our efforts and sacrifices, but mind you, it is worthy. So it is so worthy that only worthy people pursue it. Therefore, there is never a question of the worthiness of spirituality. It's always question of the worthiness of the people. So, for whatever the punya we have done, sevas we have done, upasanas we have done, to the Lord, to the parents, to the elders, to the gurus, etc., that all that put together, not only coming in the form of this opportunity to study Shastras and tune to the truth, but also the willingness within us, readiness with us, with minimum efforts or risks or problems like of the past days. It's not that you have to give up everything, go to the Gurukula, stay there, avoid by all those strict disciplines, etc., of every level. None of these things are required. Just at the comforts of our own home, like all the eatables are door delivered nowadays, even the wisdom also is door delivered. All this is because of our own punya phala. But punya results only in the form of arrival of these opportunities and giving those conducivenesses inside. And as we have studied in all our morning, evening classes, especially the Taittiriya, the karmas, upasanas, punya, which lead to these type of opportunities being limited and less, when they go away again, definitely surely we miss or lose all these opportunities. Only if we continue doing those punya, they'll continue. As well as when these opportunities have come, when we encash them for the best of our abilities, with the best of our abilities, for the best of purpose, then we are in the safest zone. So whether Kabir Das ji says, Dukh mein sumaran sum kare, sukh mein kare na koi, or in other language and shlokas it is said, when all the things are right, that time only you have to make the best opportunity of it. Because in our destiny, at what age, because of what reason, what lies, we don't know whether it is conducive for sadhana or not. So forget past, forget future. In the present, we are presented with the greatest present of the opportunity of studying Shastras. Let's open it, unwrap it, and claim it and make the best use of it. Let the attitudes be very serious and sincere, the intentions be very crystal clear, let the purposes also be full of clarity, let all our energies, enthusiasms also brought with all, the self-felt efforts and pour into that. Just like any achievement, whether it's a smallest job of cooking and eating or the biggest job of sacrificing the self for the country or the nation, both depend on how fully we pour in that activity. So to, if you can slowly steadily learn and train to pour ourselves fully into the spirituality, there is no greater joy in the thought that I am doing this. There's no great joy that I am able to do that, and there's no great joy then that I'm able to do it better and better. And there's no greater joy, because when you are doing better and better, the results are obvious and results are very soon too. May we recognize all these facts and live those facts in our own interest. For the first and last reason, that nobody in the world can help us in our spiritual evolution first, and it is we only who have to take those charges, responsibilities, and all the initiatives in our life. All others will help us, whether it's Guru or Shastra or Bhagwan. And the parents, children, and all of them help us by giving us vairagya. Anyway, thank you to them that they persecute us so much. that we start coming to the classes and all. Whatever. Good that we are together here. Like every day, today too, we'll have our four classes spread for next 2.5 or whatever the hours. In that, the first one is the 10th Skandham. What an exemplary, beautiful topic going on of our AKRURA having received Krishna, Balarama, Uddhava and worshipped them. How beautifully he is addressing them, and in that address he is talking about the sublime shastric jnana, the essence of all the Vedanta. Little heavy subject am I saying from last 2 3 days, and you are tasting it also. Let us continue it. It will run for a day more today and tomorrow. If possible, today will conclude. Then we will be taking up our 12th Skandha. There also we have done the Naimitika Pralaya, then Prakruta Pralaya. So, leading us to the third pralaya called as Atyantika, called as Moksha through Atmanubhava. Here, the Shukadevji is talking again the summary essence of all the understandings about bondages as well as liberations. And then the sadhana for liberation again, he is hinting the gurus are those who never miss any opportunity of teaching their disciples or devotees the means for liberation at any given time or moment. The best example is that of Krishna, and here the Sukadev ji also. There to Mahayuddha hone wala hai, but still the opportunity presented, encashed by Krishna in giving the most sublime knowledge, Gita, to Arjuna and through him to all of us. Here also, even though within few hours maximum, that Takshaka is going to come and bite Parikshit, yet he was a deserving student with all his abilities was available there. And then the Sukadevji, not a less a guru, he also took the chance. And even toward the end also, he is talking the sublime knowledge. And the next chapter will be the summary, only in 12 13 slokas. You will see in 6 7 steps only, look to be so simple, but in that simple looking things only, all this sadhana to be done to get liberated lies if you really have faith in it, if you really have the subtlety to understand it, and if you have really conviction in it, and if we invoke the abilities to practice it. So that's what will be our second class. Followed by that, every day we are seeing our Ramayanam, and in this today's class, Sugrivaji's the prayers as well as praise of Lord Rama, and in the sequence of 4 5 steps he takes tells us the how the downfall happens. And then if that is nipped at the bud level by the given sadhana, then the downfall into samsara and samsaric miseries we can avoid. And mind you, we have come as human beings only for the pursuit of that excellence, not to follow the misguidance by others or our own mind, in which just we remain a status quo or even fall further down and down. Let this common sense, let me talk it like that, don't feel bad, or this simple minimum maturity we must have, lest nobody can protect us including God. God says, I gave you human, made you human, I gave you intellect, I sent you the Mahatmas, I have given you Shastra, I gave you all facilities, amenities, I have given you opportunity. It was you, and freedom also I gave you. It was you who were supposed to think and understand what first what for this human life is to be, and then you should have lived it. Why are you asking me now? मैं तो सबको दे दिया, और सबसे ज्यादा जो दूसरों को नहीं मिलता वो भी दिया मैंने, called as freedom. If you have misused whatever I have given, if you have misused freedom also that is given, you have no dare not question me, dare not ask me. The Lord also will wash off his hands. Mind you that. So be careful, be purposeful, be very attentive in making the life fruitful and beautiful by pursuing this path of spiritual excellence. So that will be our third class. Sugriva's beautiful description or Mahima Bhagwan as well as Prarthana and Adhyatmikata. All that. Then lastly, the Lalita Trishati, some more names today we will chant. And that's how the Lord we gave us these days. We'll offer it back to Him in trying to reach Him and near Him through all our scriptural studies. Not enough, and also with our genuine, serious implementation of whatever we have learned through the Shastras called as sadhana. So let us start as every day with our regular prayers. Thank you. Om ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्य किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवण त्वगादीन प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं समस्त देवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो ब्राह्मणेभ्यो आचार्येभ्यो भक्तेभ्यो साधुभ्यो साधकेभ्यो तीर्थेभ्यो क्षेत्रेभ्यो नदीनदेभ्यो नमः। शास्त्रेभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षे सूतमहामुनिये शौनकादृशेभ्यो अत्र्यादृशेभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तजनेभ्यो मत्स्यादेवतारेभ्यो आदित्यादि नवग्रहदेवताभ्यो दक्षिणामूर्तिदत्तात्रेय ग्रीवादिगुरुभ्यो आदि पराशक्तिमात्रे माता पितृदेवताभ्यो आद्यशङ्कराचार्य आदिगुरुभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। सङ्कल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां गुरूणां देवतानां परब्रह्मणः श्रुतिमातु अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणेव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं पुराणेद्यासोक्तभगवद्भागवतदर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थानजागरण विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं तत्कृते कङ्कणबद्धसमस्तसाधकभक्तसेवकोपासक जिज्ञासूनां च आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्यादि समस्त सत्संपदा क्षेमस्थैर्य आदि समस्त सत्साधना समस्त सानुकूल्यतानां प्राप्ति द्वारा विघ्न शत्रु बाह्य अभ्यंतर निर्मूलन द्वारा चिंतित उद्देश्य सनातन धर्मस्य कार्यस्य दिग्विजय निर्विघ्नेन दिग्विजय प्राप्त्यर्थं च विश्वशान्ति कल्याण एकता प्राप्त्यर्थं च अस्माकं सहसाधकानां च सर्वरूपरक्षणा प्राप्त्यर्थं च श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणशास्त्रस्य दशमस्कन्धस्य द्वादशस्कन्धस्य अपि पारायणमध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ दशमस्कन्धः। Friends, let us just make another chanting of these mantras from 18 onwards. And we will conclude up to 36. These 19 mantra, whatever we could do, we will do. If not, little bit, if remains, tomorrow we'll see. Thank you. Om Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Srimad Bhagavata Mahapuranam Dashamaskandha Purvardha अथ अष्टचत्वारिंशोऽध्यायः। श्रीशुक उवाच युवां प्रधानपुरुषौ जगद्धेतु जगन्मयौ भवद्भ्यां न विना किञ्चित् परमस्ति न चापरम् आत्मसृष्टमिदं विश्वम् अन्वाविश्य स्वशक्तिभिः ईयते बहुधा ब्रह्मन् श्रुतप्रत्यक्षगोचरम् यथा हि भूतेषु चराचरेषु मह्यादयो योनिषु भान्ति नाना एवं भवान् केवल आत्मयोनिषु आत्मात्मतन्त्रो बहुधा विभाति सृजस्यथो लुम्पसि पासि विश्वं रजस्तमः सत्त्वगुणैः स्वशक्तिभिः न बध्यसे तत् गुणकर्मभिर्वा ज्ञानात्मनस्ते क्वच बन्धहेतुः देहाद्युपाधेरनिरूपितत्वात् भवो न साक्षात् न भिदात्मनः स्यात् अतो न बन्धस्तव नैव मोक्षः स्यातां निकाम स्वैनो विवेकः त्वयोदितोऽयं जगतो हिताय यदा यदा वेदपतः पुराणः बाध्येत पाषण्डपथैरसद्भिः तदा भवान् सत्त्वगुणं बिभर्ति सत्त्वं प्रबोध्य वसुदेव गृहेऽवतीर्णः स्वांशेन भारमपनेतुमिहासि भूमेः अक्षौहिणीशत वधेन सुरेतरांश राज्ञाममुष्य च कुलस्य यतो यशो वितन्वन् अद्येशनो वसतयः खलु भूरिभागाः यः सर्वदेव पितृभूतनृदेवमूर्तिः यत्पादशौचसलिलं त्रिजगत्पुनाति सत्त्वं जगद्गुरुरधोक्षजयाः प्रविष्टः कः पण्डितस्त्वदपरं शरणं समीयात् भक्तप्रियात् हृतगिरः सुहृदः कृतज्ञात् सर्वान् ददाति सुहृदो भजतोऽभिकामान् आत्मानमप्युपचयापचयौ न यस्य दिष्ट्या जनार्दन भवानिह नः प्रतीतः योगेश्वरैरपि दुरापगतिः सुरेशैः छिन्द्याशु नः सुतकळत्रधनाप्तगेह देहादिमोहरशनां भवदीयमायाम श्रीशुक उवाच इत्यर्चितः संस्तुतश्च भक्तेन भगवान् हरिः अक्रूरं सस्मितं प्राह गीर्भिः सम्मोहयन्निव श्रीभगवानुवाच त्वं नो गुरुः पितृव्यश्च श्लाघ्यो बन्धुश्च नित्यता वयस्तु वयं तु रक्ष्याः पोष्याश्च अनुकम्प्याः प्रजाः हिवः भवद्विधा महाभागाः निषेव्या अर्हसत्तमाः श्रेयस्कामैरनृभिर्नित्यं देवाः स्वार्थान् साधवः न ह्यं मयानि तीर्थानि न देवामृत्शिलामयाः ते पुनन्ति उरुकालेन दर्शनादेव साधवः स भवान् सुहृदां वैनः श्रेयान् श्रेयचिकीर्षया जिज्ञासार्थं पाण्डवानां गच्छस्वत्वं गजाह्वयं पितर्युपरते बालाः सहमात्रा सुदुःखिताः आनीताः स्वपुरं राज्ञा वसन्त इति शुश्रुम तेषु राजाम्बिकापुत्रो भ्रातृपुत्रेषु दीनधीः समो न वर्तते नूनं दुष्पुत्रवशगोन्दधृको गच्छ जानीहि तद्वृत्तम् अधुना साध्वसाधु वा विज्ञाय तद्विधास्यामः यथा शं सुहृदां भवेत् इत्यक्रूरं समादिश्य भगवान् हरिरीश्वरः सङ्कर्षणोद्धवाभ्यां वै ततः स्वभवनं ययौ इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां दशमस्कन्धे पूर्वार्धे अक्रूरकृतस्तुति नमस्कारो नाम पूर्वार्धे अष्टचत्वारिंशोऽध्यायः। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Friends, these shastras, Bhagavatam, Mahabharatam, Puranas, any one of them, Adhyatma Ramayanam, Upanishads, Gita Adi, every topic, every portion, every shloka, every discussion is only there to convey some or the other beautiful meaning, message, knowledge to us. And that is why, in totality, those granthas, and in those granthas total, every topic has become so eternal that even though the times are changing, people are changing, yet these eternal wisdoms are made available by some or the other great people through this parampara. If that efficacy, if that definite divinity, if that redeeming effect of the bound people are not there in the shastras, if they're only mere novels or the kathas or story, long back either they would have been extinct or they would have been edited or replaced. So we have to have that faith, we have to have that alertness, attentiveness to listen, to study, to grasp the essence of each of these things and relate that grasped essence with our own life and change wherever the changes are to be done, not in the Shastra but in ourselves. This is how a genuine, serious, sincere seeker takes the help of Guru Shastra and keeps on molding himself, seeking the eternal, seeking the permanent, seeking the real, seeking the truth at the cost of a non-eternal, impermanent, and which is untrue, unreal world. This is what is the wisdom. Now, this cannot be publicly told when public are so much lost in the unreal, trying to make it real. Among them, we are few public, as we said in the introduction, are blessed by our own fortunate activities, punya karma, and our own upasanas done to the gurus and all, that we are at least inclined to listen in spite of our own mind, prarabdha outside the Kali Yuga. Thank God we are now given this solace or comfort or the anchor of Shastra, trying to study it. When we empower ourselves with knowledge, many of the problems can be prevented also. Whatever are there, they can be cured. If not, at least the symptomatic relief at least we can have. So maybe in that spirit with Shraddha, study our Shastras and make Shastra Adhyanam as the most important thing of our life. While doing so, the things, beings keep on coming, going in around our life. They'll come with their and our mutual prarabdha. They go, whatever little love, seva you have to do, give it a duty, you have to do it. More than that, don't trouble them with your wisdom and don't get troubled by their wisdom. Then just be protected with your own wisdom received from the gods and gurus and the shastras. This is how a wise person minds his job of his own evolution while minding the outer things as much as they are required. Now here Sri Krishna Balarama Uddhava came to Sri AKRURAji's house and how he received them, then did all the Argyapadya Pujadi, then made them sit, put their feet in his lap and did the Charan Pakana and Seva. Then how taking that opportunity, pouring out all his wisdom to get certification from them. Krishna plays very notorious game here, which we'll see later. Having heard all the wisdom, भगवान ना माया फेरते हुए कहते हैं, चाचा जी ये क्या बोल रहे हो? मैं तो आपके भतीजा हूँ, मैं तो आपके बात सुनने के लिए आया हूँ, वैसे आपके कुछ सहाय लेने के लिए आया हूँ. He tries to play the game of Vyavahara just like that, because Akrurji also understands by this Lord is approving whatever the wisdom I said, and he's telling me that use that wisdom on yourself, don't pour on others, and you live a common normal life like I am living with you now. So this is how a wise person acts as if otherwise outside, just like an otherwise person acts as if he is a wise person. So this is how we have to learn all the tricks along with being on the path of our own redemption. Now, few things we have already seen, Shloka 1, 2, 3, 4, and how very sublime, very clear they are, repeatedly to be heard, repeatedly to be contemplated. More study of Shastras is only academic. Among the studied Shastras, the important crucial things when we take up for our own inner contemplation and get the essence of it and digest it and live it, that leads us for the liberation, not the number of Shastras studied or all. It doesn't mean you stop coming from tomorrow. आप कुछ लोग नहीं आए तो मैं कहाँ जाऊँ? So this is शास्त्र ज्ञान नहीं, उस ज्ञान का थोड़ा हिस्सा जब अंदर हम लेते हैं वही हमको मदद करता है. Just like you have 100 kg rice in your house, but whatever you cook and eat, that alone helps you. You have lots of money in the bank. Whatever you take out of that, that alone helps you. You have 100 friends, but whomever you are in contact with, he alone helps you. In the same way, number of knowledges that are there in the pustaka. From that, whatever has come to your mastaka, and from the mastaka to the hridaya through into the practice. Whichever happens, that alone helps. Again, never say कि ये बातें हमको नहीं बताए गए, अभी बता रहे, बार बार बताएंगे. जो हमने साधना में उतारा वही हमको मदद करेगा. सिर्फ जिसको हमने जाना है, means I only have known it, that won't help. But without knowing, we can't do. Therefore, we are knowing. And knowing cannot happen suddenly. Therefore, every day we are listening. And that listening can be only of Shastras, because that is an authentic knowledge, again and again, proved to be true by the generations of seekers and saints. Okay, what he says, Akruraji, to both Balarama Krishna first, thereafter only to Krishna. He says, Yuvam Pradhana Purushau Jagad Hetu Jaganmayo, means what? The entire world is the effect caused by two causes, the Jada and Chetana, that is Purusha and Prakriti. Therefore, don't see the world and world's variety and get lost in Raga Dvesha. See beyond and see above through your intellect. So Akrurji is seeing Balrama Krishna, but through them he is seeing the Pradhana Purusha. So how much contemplation he has done. So in Vyavahara, he welcomed them. Out of respect because they are divine, he did puja. But when it comes to Jnanam, you are the Pradhana Purusha. See, he is not compromising either Vyavahara or Prema Bhakti as well as the Jnanam also. That is how we have to. But all this takes hundreds of lives for us to evolve, when in each life we are consciously trying little by little, like you are doing it now in trying to listen. I am doing it by trying to talk. We are traveling in the same boat. यही प्रयत्न कहते हैं, सुनना प्रयत्न, समझना प्रयत्न, है कि नहीं? साधना थोड़ा थोड़ा करना वही प्रयत्न है, वही हमको थोड़ा थोड़ा हर एक जिंदगी में बढ़ाता जाएगा, है ना? इट मेक्स अस प्रोग्रेस. So भवद्व्याम्न विना किंचित परम अस्ति न च अपरम. So therefore once for all, Sri AKRURA is clearing to us that without Balarama or Krishna, the whole universe is not at all there. Means Balarama Krishna represent the Prakriti and Purusha. Therefore without Prakriti and Purusha, the universe is not there. Clear? So Balarama Krishna are Prakriti Purusha Rupa. That Prakriti Purusha Paramatma only for a particular purpose have come in that form. Just because they came for that purpose, how can you limit to them to only that purpose or that level? We should go beyond the expression to see that which is expressed. Like somebody gave you something. So through that seeing, receiving the object, don't see the act of their giving to you. Beyond that, that love, their concern, their value for you. So many if you can see, you are seeing the subtle. So too, if somebody is miserable with you, understand that your words or talk are not appreciated by that person. Then change them from non-positive to positive. Then you have become the subtle person. There also see Krishna Balarama, but through them see the Karana of the entire Vishwa called and Prakriti and Purusha. Then you are learning the art of seeing the reality. Lot like this, these slokas can be explained for hours together. But main thought is conveyed, catch it. Clear? Next one is what? Ki Atma Srishtam idam Vishwam Anu Avishya Swashaktivihi Iyate Bahuda He Brahman Shruta Pratyaksha Gocharam. See, all these 5 points are how important they are all. First, Atma Srishtam idam Vishwam. This idam Rupi entire Vishwam is created by the Lord out of himself. First point. Second, Anu Avishya. He entered into that. Third, Swashaktivihi, with all his various Shaktis. Then Bahuda Iyate. Thus he is acting or playing in very, very many forms. In what very many forms? Shruta Pratyaksha Gocharam. In the form of varied names and forms. So what is the entire Jagata? Multitude of names and forms only. But is any of the multitude of name and form can exist without Lord? No. So the Lord is permeating, percolating in them in the form of Sat and Chitu. But that form and name also are expression of what? The same Sat and Chit only. And who is that Sat Chit? Paramatma only. Therefore, Paramatma himself with his own Shakti appearing as the multitude of names and forms, entering into that, he only playing the variety Leela. Like one electricity is only entering through all the electrical equipments, playing various Leelas. Is it not? Because minus electricity, none of them can function. They don't even exist. Nobody discovers such electrical equipments which don't work with the electricity, or if the electricity is not invented or anything, not created, why will all this will be made? So here is where we have to become little subtler to catch that from Paramatma as Upadana Nimitta Karana, the Jagat is made of all Rupanama. And that Jagat which is made activated, made enlivened again by the presence of Paramatma only. Like I make my own house and I stay in that house. I am the maker, I am the stayer. And later on, I only am the breaker. That is why the Urnanabi example is given. That Luta Kita, Urnanabi, spider, out of his own mouth or its own body or its own self creates all that saliva, and with that it makes the web, and in that made web it only moves, and then later on it only consumes it. In the same way, where from the web came from its own mouth, its own part it is, not other than it. It has not purchased from here and there. And when the work is over, when it takes back inside, where it goes to, into it only. In the same way, परमात्मा के अंदर ही परमात्मा के माया शक्ति से ये सारा रूपनामात्मक जगत का निर्मित हुआ, और उसमें चेतना परमात्मा के प्रवेश के ही कारण हुआ. फिर परमात्मा ही अलग अलग चीजों में प्रवेश करके अलग अलग नाटक कर रहे हैं. Whether it is raja, whether it is a ranka, whether it is an educated or uneducated, they all belong to upadhis. Through each of the upadhi, Bhagavan only is playing different roles. And those upadhis are not the same all the time. They go on fluctuating and changing. A rank can become raja, the raja can become ranka, an uneducated fellow can become educated, the educated can become perverted. Are kuch bhi ho raha hai outside in the upadhi, but who is functioning through is the Lord. This is what we have to recognize. So, because of our focus so much is on the sthula and the modifications in sthula as well as the demands of the sthula, our intellect has become so sthula, very what is called very sthula gross, that we are not able to see the subtle. See the subtle. That is why through the upasana, all the stula padarthas, we offer it to the God to get out of our slavery to them. Thus, on the day of upasana, instead of you consuming the food, you offer it to the Lord and give it to others. Because of the attention on the bhoga vastus is gone away, it is expected that mind is relatively calm and quiet. In that calm and quiet mind only, either you can do the upasanas effectively or you can do your study and contemplation effectively. The entire Bhagavata is based on that. The Parikshitji gave up his food and hunger by his own choice. Thus, the entire mind's energies, which were earlier leaking through only for those two things, are totally conserved. Therefore, he could attend to the Bhagavata discourses given by Shukadevji and receive them there and then. इसका अर्थ ये नहीं कि आप भी उनकी तरह खाना पीना छोड़कर, मैं कहीं ना कहीं क्या है, overpowered by the reality given to the gross, that we are intellect also become dull-witted, not to see the subtle. Here what is said is, through the equipments what is functioning is one Lord only. And always remember that one Lord who is functioning through all the equipments can never be apprehended or realized unless we discover within ourselves that Lord who is other than these upadhis, including ego. मेरे पांच उपाधियां अन्न प्राण मनोविज्ञान आनंदा, उसके साथ मेरा जो जीव भाव है इन पांच उपाधियों के कारण जी रहा है, उसको जब तक साइड पे रखकर मेरे अंदर का वो परमात्मा को मैं पहचान नहीं सकता, theoretically, intellectually to begin with, same way in the entire universe, through in and through every limited expressions, what is expressing is that Lord only. This intellectual knowledge will not grasp. Same way, we practically transcending all the upadhi. When I discover my own self, then only I'll discover the same self behind. That's what the beginning of the Taittiriya Upanishad in the morning. First, discover the Pratyagatma. Thereafter, discover the Sarvatma. Just saying sadhanas. So here, AKRURA in the process of discovering the one Lord behind all. And this is in continuation of what Uddhavji taught to Gopikas and all. Remember it. So इनको हम तो थोड़ा ही बता सकते हैं on the dais or stage because of limitations of time and the text to be covered. It is each one's job to take these things and contemplate to get the essence of all these knowledges. Okay, simple is what? Atma Srushtam Idam Vishwam. So the entire Idam Rupi Vishwa, Stula Sukshma Karana, is manifested by the Lord out of Himself. And into that Nama Rupa, he only enters Anupravishya, Anuavishya with his own variety of Shaktis. In the Shaktis, the common, the Telugu people are studying. Also in the morning, Taittiriya, we are seeing that is the Icha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. Every Jiva lives because of these three only. Icha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. Then using those Shaktis, of what he has got the Ichas depends on his Vasanas. इच्छा शक्ति इज कॉमन, सबको दिया गया जीवों को, इन्फिनिट नहीं दिया गया. दैट इन्फिनिट इच्छा ज्ञान क्रिया शक्ति आर ऑलवेज विद द ईश्वर ओनली. है ना, निरतिशयम सर्वज्ञ बीजम तत्र. Is it not? It is only with Ishvara. For all of us, it is limited. Even that limited is conditioned by the vasanas. So each one's desires are different. Desiring is common. And pursuit obviously depends on what you desire. कोई अमेरिका जाता है, कोई लंदन जाता है, कोई जर्मनी जाता है, कोई ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाता है. अमेरिका वाला पॉलिटिक्स में ज्वाइन करने को, जर्मनी वाला मैकेनिक इंजीनियर जाता है, और ऑस्ट्रेलिया वाला वहाँ डंडा खाने को. तो एवरीबडी गोज अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर वासना. The Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti expresses later after the Ichha Shakti gets activated by various vasanas. Clear? So your and my Ichha Shaktis were to come to class. So then the Jnana Shakti, how to come to class? Then Kriya Shakti, we came to class and doing the Kriya of listening, trying to understand. See how I imagine. So this is how the Swashakti Vihi. Then Iyate Bahudha. Therefore, Iyate means Kriyate. Variety of activities he alone is doing. Hey Brahmana, Shuta Pratyaksha Gocharam. Shuta is names, Pratyaksha is the forms. Shuta Gocharam, Pratyaksha Gocharam. Aksham Prati Gocharam. What you see through the eyes is the forms. What you listen through the ears is the names. So entire Nama Rupatmaka Jagat here. So this is one human being, other human being, another human being. Then there is an animal, there is a plant, there is a bird, there are insects. So each of them have a Rupa and Nama. In that Rupa and Nama, other Shaktis are there. And behind all the Shaktis, there is individuality is there. Behind that individuality, one common Paramatma is there. The one who is seeing only Rupa Nama is very grossest fellow. The one who is seeing at least the individuals in them, little grown up. And the one who sees the common self thread through all of them is matured Jnani. That's why Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavastini Shuni Chaiva Shubhage Pandita Samadarshana Aratmopamena Sarvatra Samapashati Arjuna Aryasmin Sarvan Bhutan Atmaya Bhuti Janataha. All these slokas talk about the vision of that one common reality denominator behind all, which is first theoretical, later on practically through meditation we can discover it. Just like when you see the album, in and through every picture, you know it is me, me, me. So to any of the number of paintings you have done, you know it is me made it, me made it, me made it. Don't you see that? Same way, I, the pure self alone, is expressing. That cannot be done unless I discover the pure self in me. And while doing so, we may get mistaken if you are not under the guidance of an experienced guru, taking the ego alone as self and feeling egoistic, feeling that I am the one. The real self is common in all, therefore, that will not be ego. Spiritual knowledge, if it leads to ego, it is not spiritual knowledge at all, it is an intellectual apprehension. Because what is spiritual knowledge? There is only one self. If self is one without second, whom are you showing your ego? Whom are you telling that they are lesser than you and you are greater than them? दूसरा बंदा है ही नहीं ना है तो it is equal to me only because everything is everybody's Brahman only. Clear? In this way you have to contemplate. Then we saw the next shloka that yatahi bhuteshu charachareshu mahi adaya yonishu nana bhanti. So nana yonishu charachareshu bhuteshu yatha mahi adaya bhanti. Like in variety of living and non-living, moving and non-moving things, same Panchabahamutas are there. See, these examples are comprehensible by us. Therefore, first through examples, always, yesterday I told you, the Sambhavana is created in us, the possibility. First of all, we refuse the possibility only. Abhavana kehte usko. That is refuted by or replaced by acceptance of Sambhavana by giving such examples. Then after the process is told to discover that one. So like in all the charachara, nana yoni bhuta. Chalne wale means all manusha pashu pakshi. And achara means the vanaspati. And nana yoni. Is it not? Manusha is one, but pashu are variety. Pakshi are many. So to the vriksha jati bahut sara hai. But in all of them is not the Panchamaha Bhutas common. Think about it. यथा हि भूतेषु चराचरेषु मही आदयः मही मीन्स भूमि आदय मीन्स मही जलः अग्नि वायु आकाश नाना भांति योनिषु. Is it not common Panchamahabhutas? So many rupa is they are not Pashu, Pakshi, Manusha and Vanaspati. If you can really think about it and accept, now we are adding little subtler knowledge than this for you. What is that? Evam in this way. Here AKRURA is addressing Krishna to be that Brahman. Therefore, Evam Bhavan. There, that's how you also a Krishna. Kevalaha. You are one without second, that Parabrahma. Atma Yonishu means those things which have come out of you only as the yoni means from you only which have come all this rupanama variety. Atma tantraha bahuda vibhati means you only having created things out of you, out of your own atma tantra. Atma tantra is equal to swatantra. Swatantra is equal to not Paratantra. The difference between Narayana, Ishvara and us is this only. We also are born, we are also living, but we are Paratantra. And what is a Paratantra? We are helpless victims of our own vasana, senses, habits, etc. Paramatma is not Paratantra, he is Atmatantra, he is Swatantra, he has got full freedom while doing Srushti, while entering into the Srushti and maintenance के बाद समापन के time भी, at the time of Laya also, is always Atma Tantra. Difference between Jiva and Ishvara is what? Jiva is always Paratantra, Ishvara is always Swatantra. So, Atma Tantra Bahudha Vibhati. So, if this is able to be spoken by AKRURA ji, how much of contemplation he has done to reach to see that which is expressing rather than how the expression is happening. है कि नहीं? कौन व्यक्त हो रहा है उसको देखना है, व्यक्त होने के बाद कौन है वो देखोगे तो फंस जाओ. You understand it? Same one truth only expressing in so many forms, and he only manifested those variety. He alone is expressing through them, and that he or the self or Krishna can be this way seen as avatara. Then through the upasana you can worship him. He may give you darshan and all, but by his grace only, when the intuitive subtle intellect comes, then Atma Jnana we get for Siddhanta Rupena. That same Atma Anubhuti ke liye, when we sit on the meditation seat to transcend all the Anatma, and by his grace, when really we transcend Anatma, in that Nirvikalpa Samadhi Avastha of the Yoga Samasha, Asampragnata Yoga, or in the reaching of the transcendental truth beyond the Jnata Jnana Gneyam, we discover that Sachidananda Rupa Krishna. And this is what is our goal. Siddhanta Spashtam, Sadhana Spashtam. Whoever have done it, they reached it. There's the examples and the authorities also Spashtam. From that side. From our side also, we should become Spashtam in Siddhanta. We should become Spashta in our sadhana and do sadhana till the Anubhuti also comes Spashta Rupena to us that I have discovered. Ha, oh, ha, oh, ha, oh. Is it not? How, like a machli, we can swim? So much of doubt, suspicion. But others are swimming. No, no, I don't know, I can't. But somehow he is convinced, he is made to try. Then he was taught the steps and all. In the beginning तो डुबी डुबी को पानी पी के डूबी रहा था. Somehow उसको टेक्निक्स बताए 4 5 6 दिन में धैर्य दिलाया. उसके बाद फ्लोटिंग सिखाया थोड़ा थोड़ा. After 1 or 2 or 3 months he learns to swim. So that abhavana sambhavana has become now sambhavana. Because he followed the instructor and did it. He could swim now. So to driving a vehicle, no, I can't. How can I do it? But you sit behind the steering and try, you know it. In the same way, how can I discover the one without second self, which is beyond all? Follow what Guru and Shastra says, sadhana. If not today, in some other time, you'll get it. Why some other time I've left, next life also postpone, totally dedicate करोगे तो इसी जन्म में मिल जाएगा वो. और हमको इसी जन्म में प्रयत्न करने का कोशिश करना है पाने का. हुआ नहीं हुआ वो बात की बात. Never ever think about spiritual realization to achieve in the further lives. No, in this life only I want. In that effort, with that sincerity, we may succeed. If not, फिर देखा जाएगा अगले में. Never postpone it again. That is a Maya. हम जब लेक्चर में बताते हैं इसका अर्थ क्या है? If you have not yet reached because of lack of efforts, then at least the next you reach. That doesn't mean don't try this life. This life only we have to start right now, today only. That's why Asmin Kshaneva Anubhav Siddhartham, that's what we are doing in our Sankalpa every day. So the meaning of this sloka is said, and each of us can do little more contemplation on that. Who doesn't allow us to contemplate? Our own distracted mind, lazy mind, etc. So bring that mind to purity and single pointedness. Take up 5 minutes भी करो, 2 minutes भी करो, ऐसा ही शुरू होता है. Is it not 2 minutes doing itself is achievement of contemplation? 5 minutes is a great achievement. If you are able to do 15 minute daily contemplation, you are oh great. सुबह शाम आधा घंटा कर पाओगे exclusively, not japa, not puja, not upasana, not prarthana, only the vicharana on this Vedantic Satya or the truths. And as we go deeper in the understanding and add meditational sittings to our sadhana, slowly we reach out to it. And for all that, obviously, our own strong willpower and commitments. So, to the grace of God and Guru, we should never miss it. If somebody says no grace and Guru's grace and God's grace, obviously will come. Why worry about that? First, you embark on the path. If they say never, they are wrong, they are right. But मैं तो कहता हूँ ये तीनों, अपना मेहनत, गुरु कृपा, शास्त्र कृपा. And they can't also deny that. Because that is possible for some people, this is also possible for some people. What is that? That you try, obviously the grace will come. I don't deny that thought. It is correct. That when I am putting efforts, before putting efforts only, the God Guru are helping me. If I put effort, will they not help me? But that is a little higher stage. My stage is lower, where I say I have to deliberately ask the Lord and Guru. Not that they forget me or they don't help me, but to remind me कि मैंने उनसे मांगा इसलिए उन्होंने दिया, चलो मुझे अकल होना चाहिए कि उसको यूज करना है. And once we reach to habitually doing sadhana, then it is so clear that the Lord and Guru are giving blessings and opportunities, and we are using them and doing our best. Next, see, देखो, सृजसी अथ लुम्पसी and पासी विश्वम. You create, you maintain and dissolve the world. Rajaha tamaha sattva gunaihi swashaktivihi. So Bhagavan is Ananta Shakti, Aganita Shakti, Anarvachaniya Shakti. It has got three gunas. Those three gunas also are cannot be seen. The effect of those three gunas are seen in the matter, in the inner subtle matter as well as the outer gross matter. Okay, in terms of creation, Bhagavan Rajoguna works, or Bhagavan uses Rajoguna for the creation. Bhagavan uses his Sattva or the Maya Sattva for maintenance. So, and in that maintenance, everything are there. Then he uses his Tamoguna Shakti for the dissolving. And that Tamoguna with which he dissolves the world is not our Tamoguna that we eat and sleep and do nothing and procrastinate. Oh, Tamoguna is a Shakti. There it is not negative. भगवान का तमोगुण डजंट थिंक डोंट थिंक अच्छा भगवान भी तमोगुणी है, वो भी हमारे तरह क्लास में सो जाते हैं. ऐसे नहीं बाबा. He is that the Shakti's purpose is that. Understood that? Don't think that negatively कि भगवान भी फंस गया हमारे तरह तमोगुण में. Not like that. So सृजसी अवसी लुम्पसी पासी विश्वम रजस्तमः सत्वगुणैहि उचार स्वशक्तिभिः. They're all भगवान के खुद के शक्तियां हैं. Now the next important thought we have to mind is while doing all that न बध्यसे तद्गुण कर्म भिर्वा तद्गुण कर्म फलैहि वा. So by those gunas and the actions done by those gunas of Srishti Sthiti Laya and the Phala, Bhagavan is never bound. This is what is a very essential thought. We have to catch and copy him. We also will not get bound. How the Bhagavan is not getting bound by them? Because Jnana Atmanaha Tve Kachabandha Hetuhu. You being the Jnana Atma, how can there be any Hetu for your bandhana? Because in the Ajnana only there is bandhana. In the Jnana there is no bandhana. Point one. Point two, what is the meaning of a Jnana Atma? Shuddha Jnapti Swarupa Chaitanya. So when I identify with Chaitanya, be attentive. In the light of the Chaitanya Tattva, Maya with its three gunas does all that, but it cannot touch the Maya. Touch the Chaitanya Atma. They were remaining as Jnanatma, in other words, called as the Sakshi Chaitanya. So in my presence, everything happening, I can see. Same time, what I can see is all those happenings, their results don't touch me. Jnanatmanah te kvacha bandha hetuhu. Therefore, aparavidya, paravidya, avidya, vidya, jnana, jnana. Throughout all our morning, evening classes, we are studying this only. What is intellectual jnanam? When the more you have, you are freed from the ajnana created problems. Second is spiritual jnanam, theoretical. And when that is practiced, both types of samsaric problems go away. What is talked here is jnanatmana means Shuddha Jnapti Swarupa is you. And you never come down from that identity. Therefore, that Maya, which has three gunas, with that Sushtisthitaya it is doing, cannot touch you, Jnanatma. Then how can you be bound by it? And then we gave examples yesterday. The Vayu cannot touch the space. Because space is cause of Vayu, subtler than the Vayu. So too, the Shuddha Chaitanya Atma is a cause for all these three gunas, subtler than these three gunas. Therefore, they cannot touch the Paramatma Chaitanya. Therefore, these three gunas, through three gunas, whatever the karmas are done of Srishti Sthiti Laya, एंड द रिजल्ट्स ऑफ दैट वॉट एवर कर्म फला ईश्वर भगवान को वो स्पर्श नहीं करते. Therefore is ever liberated only. Therefore you and I also slowly from tamas to rajas, from rajas to sattva, from the sattva to shuddha sattva, from the shuddha sattva to the tattva, when we transcend in our identity, which is not as easy as we said in 10 seconds, it may take 10 100 lives. It can be in this very life also. When we reach that level, then we can discover that I am that conscious self, in whose presence the Maya working in three gunas, in doing Srushti, Sthiti, Laya, both at the macro level as well as the micro level. समष्टि व्यष्टि रूपी सारे सृष्टि स्थिति लय मैं नामक चैतन्य में सब चला. इसलिए इन द ईश्वर आल्सो फॉर हिज अनंत इच्छा ज्ञान क्रिया शक्तिस or for his ananta maya shakti having these three gunas, behind that is in the Ishvara is that Chaitanya Atma only. And you and I are alpa jivas with alpa shaktis, alpa jnana, ichcha kriya jnana. And what the work we do is also very alpa, but behind us also is not the Chaitanyam there. And the Chaitanyams are not two. Same way, behind that cheetah also, when it is searching for a sugar, the Chaitanya is same. Behind that elephant, ant and elephant also, which is searching for sugar cane, whole field only, पूरा झुंड झुंड का आकर अटैक करेगा. Like small ants in group go for the sugar, big ants go to attack big sugar cane, where say big fields only. But behind both of them, what is there is only one Chaitanya. Remember, याद रखो हमेशा, चैतन्य छोटा या बड़ा, काला या सफेद, लंबा या मोटा तगड़ा ऐसा नहीं होता. It doesn't fall in any of these parameters. This is what we are studying in our morning classes and throughout. Now that direct subject that's not there, we don't deal with it. If at all it comes, we will see. So this is how Shuka, our AKRURA ji, through the praise to Krishna Tattva, is guiding all of us also. That see the Tattva while seeing not only Krishna and Balrama here, anyone you say, transcend seeing the Upadis and to see the transcendental truth, keep on practicing. The more we practice, the more it becomes effortless and obvious and habit. And when we become very thorough in practice, what we see is the same Paramatma Chaitanya in which only this Jiva, that Jiva, coming and moving in the space expressed by the Paramatma only. वो अलग तरह का नज़ारा हमको मिलेगा. And in that nazara, in the beginning, there will be surprise and shock because it's something different from what we are habituated to. But this is untrue. That is true. Once we become regular in that, we see the bondage less. Beautiful, blissful seeing of Paramatma, his own creation. He only entering in that, playing all the Leela. वो वाला ज्ञान दृढ़ होने तक गुरु और शास्त्र के चरण पकड़ के ही रखना भगवान का भी. देन देहादि उपादेः अनिरूपितत्वात् भवो न साक्षात् न विदात्मनः स्यात् अतः न बन्धः तव नैव मोक्षः स्याताम् निकामः त्वयि न अविवेकः. So these are all very interesting, sublime shlokas needing some explanation. Let's give some time. Tomorrow Sarvam Krishna Arpanam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Sri Bhagavata Sharanam Mama. Sri Sadguru Sharanam Mama. Shri Suta Sharanam Mama. Shri Shukadeva Sharanam Mama. Shri Vyasa Sharanam Mama. Shri Narada Sharanam Mama. Shri Kumara Sharanam Mama. Shri Brahma Sharanam Mama. Shri Vishnu Sharanam Mama. Shri Parabrahma Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Sharanam Mama. Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare. He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare. He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare. He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare. He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrupatamam Vande Paramanandamadavam. Om Swarge Satye Kailase Vaikunte Nasti Ayam Rasaha Ata Pibantu Sadbhagyaha मामा मुञ्चत करेचितो ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वासमिमहं प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यान् शास्त्रचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवतमहापुराणशास्त्रं द्वादशस्कन्धः आभासश्च निरोधश्च यतश्चाध्यवसीयते स आश्रयः परं ब्रह्म परमात्मेति शब्दते। अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। Shri Shuka Uvacha. My dear friends, it was a request of Parikshit ji asking Shukadev ji to explain about the Kala, then the Yugas, the Yugamanam, Yuga Dharma, Srushti as well as Pralaya. So Srushti, Kala, Yuga, Yuga Dharma, Yugamana, all were explained. In that the Kali Yuga was explained. It was explained to be so terrible because it is so. Having heard that, he got disturbed, perturbed for himself and all the people of Kali Yuga Vasins, and he asked for how to get out of these Kali persecutions. Then the last chapter we have spent 60 days to study what to do to come out of the Kali's what do you say attack or the enslaving. And we have forgotten that is called Kali. कलयुग से कैसे बाहर आना सुनकर भी भूल गए ना, उसको कलयुग कहते। और इंटेलिजेंट लाइफ इज व्हाट इतना भुलक्कड़ है हम, इससे सारे चीज कागज पे लिख लेते हैं क्योंकि वी आर वेरी फॉरगेटफुल, बट स्टिल देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम। व्हाट इज दैट? वेयर डू वी कीप दैट पेपर? वी फॉरगेट। So cute, Bhagavan made us for his own entertainment, and how much he must be enjoying it. This Babaji बोली जा रहा था इन साल से, इन दोनों कुछ ही समझ में नहीं आया और उनको देख रहे हैं बाकी लोग। बढ़िया बढ़िया तमाशा भगवान जो है हमारे द्वारा खेल रहे हैं। So anyway, here having that way answer to the question of how to get redemption from Kali Yuga, don't ask me again, 60 दिन लगाऊंगा फिर से। So I know you will not. One of the very good thing for me from you is what you never take the risk of asking anything. You know that what is the reason. Then the one question last remains is how the pralayas happen. So Srishti explained. Then in that Srishti, the what do you call it? The yugas are explained. Yuga Manam is explained. Yuga Dharmas are explained. In that how the avatars come, सब कुछ बताया. In them Kali Yuga is the one in which problems, how to solve, that's explained. What remains is how the Srishti completes itself. The completion of Srishti is only in its Pralayam. Everything created gets fulfilled only in its dissolution. This beautiful Stutha, which appears to be very demonical and ugly, we should accept it and understand it and accept it. लाइक हर एक फूल जो पेड़ पे खिलता है ना, उसका मुरझना या शाम को गिरना ही उसका सार्थकता है। अदरवाइज इट रिमेन सेम लाइक ए प्लास्टिक फ्लावर, यू डोंट वैल्यू इट एट ऑल because you know that it's going to go, you respect it. How much? You pluck it and offer it at the feet of Lord, or say that it is Lord's expression, and then only the new fresh flowers come to the tree. When we discover the divinity or beauty or joy in the creation and dissolution, which is a play of the Lord, we have transcended the samsara or dukkha. When we say that only in the birth there is happiness, there is misery in the changes or old ages or diseases or death, means our intellect is very dull. Or our attractions, attachments to the things are so strong, things and beings are. So we are weak, we are ignorant fellows. तो हमको तो कहना चाहिए भगवान ने हमको शरीर दिया, इसमें उन्होंने मौका दिया जीने को इतने साल और इतने लोगों को दिया, एवरीथिंग इज डन वंडरफुल. No, it cannot go on because the better is waiting for you next life. Don't you want that better one? And you are doing such a great punya in this life, which obviously give you better things. When you know this, जैसे मैं हूँ, मेरे को तो उतावलापन होता है कि जितना जल्दी शरीर छोड़ूं ताकि इससे बढ़िया ऑक्यूपेंट्स और बढ़िया एबिलिटीज, बढ़िया सब कुछ चीज मिले. Like from the old LIG house, when you are allotted a HIG house, don't you get excited to jump into that 3-bedroom flat from this 1-bedroom wala? Lower income grade, middle income grade, higher income grade. करते हो कि नहीं आप? नहीं करते हो? एक गर्मी में सफर करने वाले स्कूटर से सडनली आपको 4 पहिए वाला एसी का कार मिला. Don't you want to jump into that? In the same way, when we discover that all beginning has an end and every end has its own good. We will never suffer the ending. And have to be wise like the children. अरे बेटा गर्मी में मत जाओ, उससे तबीयत खराब होएगा, घर में बैठो ठंड में, ये देखो ये पढ़ाई करो, ये करो वो करो, चलो खेलने को दो चार खिलौना भी दे रहा हूँ. You explain to the child, then you stop him from going outside and suffer. In the same way, we are childlike. We don't want to understand the life is continuous beyond the womb and the tomb, and is always for better. And if you do the punya in this life, you have to focus on that. You don't get attached to anything. When the right ripened time comes, slowly start winding up everything. These maturities when we want to give, nobody want to take it. ये सब अपवित्र है, अशुभ है बोलते हैं. अरे बुद्धू, ये अशुभ क्या है? सबसे शुभ है ये. तुमको जो होने वाला अशुभ है उससे यही बचाएगा. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट प्रलयम. वेदर इज समष्टि प्रलय, वेदर व्यष्टि. अब देखो जो पूरा समष्टि के प्रलय हो गया, व्यष्टि की क्या बात. दैट सीन मैंने सॉ तुर्की में कि मास में इतना बड़ा खाई खोदकर उसमें हंड्रेड्स ऑफ बॉडियों को लोग दफना रहे हैं. तो मेरे को तो देखकर आई कांट पुट इट इन वर्ड्स. दिस इज व्हाट इन द लाइफ. Hundreds and एक in a big rows they have dug it, they are putting the bodies and they are covering. देखा होगा ना आपने, हजारों संख्या में. इतना ही जिंदगी बस. one of them is we only one day. When you आप रिटेल में देखते हो ना, आपको पूरा पिक्चर समझ नहीं आता. जब होलसेल में देखते हो आप पता चल जाता है. So the wholesale is the प्रलय of the entire सृष्टि. अबे सृष्टि का ही पूरा प्रलय हो रहा है, तो उसमें आप और हम क्या है. रिमेंबर द सृष्टि गोज इनटू प्रलय, अगेन टू अगेन कम बैक. दिस इज व्हाट नॉलेज यू हैव टू. अगेन हम डिपेंडिंग ऑन आवर ओन प्रारब्ध इसी अर्थ में घूमेंगे जैसे इस शरीर से पहले भी थे. अब आकर ऐसे बंधु मित्र बनाएंगे. एंड आवर ओन गुड क्वालिटीज, आवर ओन वैल्यूज, आवर ओन स्पिरिचुअल विजडम अलोन कम्स विद अस एंड टेक्स अस अहेड. भगवान ने कहा 6th चैप्टर में, शुचिनाम श्रीमताम गेहे योग भ्रष्टोपि जायते अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमताम एतद् दुर्लभम लोके जन्म तदीदृशम ततसं बुद्धि संयोगम लभते पौरुतेकम यतते च ततो भूया संसिद्धौ गुरुनंदन पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनेव ह्रियते यवशोपि सह जिज्ञासा योगस्य. All that we have told, and even all this can be more beautifully understood when the Vedanta is understood, in which absolute truth alone reality, and that all these coming going things are only projected. रियलिटी पे सब जगत अपियर डिसअपियर हो रहा है ना. सेक का जन्म लेना, स्नेक का मरना, ये रस्सी के ऊपर प्रोजेक्शन ही है. So the birth of the pot, death of the pot are superimposed on the mud, which is never born when the pot is born, which never dies when the mud dies. Isn't it? If I discover the self, खेल खत्म दुकान मत. You'll never be afraid after that. That is why आत्मज्ञान के अलावा कोई भी चीज हमको मुक्ति नहीं देता. इसलिए भगवान has spared Shukadev ji the Atmajnana Rupi Atyantika Pralaya in the 3rd stage. We have seen the Nitya Pralaya, Naimittika Pralaya, we have seen the Prakruta Pralaya, now we talk about Atyantika, then the Nitya Pralaya. So we are seeing in this Bhagavatam as an answer to his question, tell me about the Pralaya also. Parikshit ji ne pucha, Shukdev ji started teaching us. 2 of them we seen. Now while concluding the Atyantika Pralaya, usse pehle hi how to reach to that Atyantika Pralaya is through the Atmajnana becoming mukta from our own Jiva Bhava. Because only when I am Jiva, then there are other Jivas, then the world, then the Ishvara, I have to worship him, I have to desire the world, or I have to be afraid of the people, or I have to attach to them. ये सारे मैं जीवा हूँ इसलिए वहां से स्टार्ट हो रहे. बट मैं खुद ही आपने डिसमेंटल कर दी अपने जीव भाव को and discovered my essential self. Please remember, Jiva also is ego. Self also is aham. But the ego jiva is identified the upadhi and suffering limitations. But the pure aham is infinite, all pervading. It is always in blissful state. मैं नहीं रहूंगा ऐसा कभी नहीं होता. इसको पकड़ो, क्योंकि मैं नहीं रहूंगा वाला ही फियर है जिस कारण से हम साधना नहीं करते. मैं कहीं नहीं जाता हूं. इवन आफ्टर डेथ, इसलिए इन ऑल 3 लैंग्वेज आई टोल्ड यू दैट मर गया यहां नहीं है और कहीं गया है. डेड एंड गॉन. Somewhere he has gone from here, but he is continuing to trouble the world. In every of your language. Sattu poi in some language. Shani poyenu in Telugu language. Varun gela in Marathi. हर लैंग्वेज में टॉक गया मतलब यहाँ के लोगों को मुक्ति देकर वो और एक को परेशान करने जा रहा है. Therefore, never we cease to exist, remember, as the self. These are the few things when we get strongly rooted. We are only at the information level now. Therefore, only that much class में थोड़ा contentment हो रहा है. Through contemplation, when we convert that information into strong conviction and live those convictions, how dare any kala or mrityu or roga or jara or the old age, how can they touch me or trouble me? That is the heroism. That is the true life. This is true heroism born out of spiritual wisdom. Otherwise, also somebody talk daringly, courageously, just by some intellectual knowledge or because will power. मैंने बहुत लोगों को देखा मेरे जगत में जीवन में मरते हुए, तो मैं तब भी डिसाइड कर लिया कि एक दिन मैं भी मरूंगा. So that also is a way. By the way, so आत्यंतिक प्रणयम we have to study. नित्य नैमित्तिक हो गया, प्राकृत हो गया. नैमित्तिक इज ब्रह्म देवा स्लीप्स. उनके निमित्त से तीन लोक जब डिजॉल्व होते हैं, भू अंतरिक्ष स्वर्ग, दैट इज कॉल्ड नैमित्तिक प्रणय. And all the seven prakritis go to Mula Prakriti. When Brahmadeva's two parardhas of his 100 years of lifespan is over, at that time, through the process told, all the seven Vikrutis of Prakriti go into Mula Prakriti. That is called a Prakruta Pralaya. And how it looks like, oh, terribly, it was terribly means in a detailed way it is explained here. Perhaps nowhere else. I don't know wherever it is said. But Bhagavatam to bata diya. We have chanted that sloka 3-4 times. We explained to you also. Then Esha Prakrutika Pralaya, with that he concluded. So from the next sloka, the Atyantika Pralaya ko batate huए, slowly the Tattva Jnana, Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, Vedanta Jnana, Upanishad Sara Jnana, Mukti giving Jnana, our Shuka Deviji is explaining. So through that Jnana, discovering ourselves to be never ending pure self, and knowing that all other is illusory, that after which it never comes back. That's called as Atyantika Pranay. Like once you know the rope as rope, snake is gone, again you cannot see the snake on the same rope. So rope ka Atyantik Pranay, snake ka Atyantik Pranay ho gaya. So too, discovering myself, therefore I am not the Jiva. Discovering the entire world to be Parabrahma, therefore nothing other than him. This is called as final Pralaya. फिर से उस परमात्मा में जगत का आरोपण नहीं होता, जगत के रूप में देखा जाता है. You may see the self as the world, but you don't accept the world as real at the cost of the self. That's called Atyantika Pranaya. How it is achieved is also very crucial topic. It is the most important topic. It is the topic of all Vedantins and spiritual seekers. It is the topic of all the Upanishads and all. So that is being dealt here very beautifully. So let us see little of it today. What is it? Let us chant the thing. कहाँ से पढ़े कि 23वां श्लोक से लेकर आप ना कहाँ तक 34 तक आप पढ़ लो. 23 से 34. तो these 11 श्लोकों में आत्यंतिक प्रलय is explained to us. ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम द्वादश स्कंध चतुर्थोऽध्यायः. श्री शुक उवाच. ओम बुद्धेन्द्रियार्थरूपेण ज्ञानं भाति तदाश्रयं दृश्यत्वाव्यतिरेकाभ्याम् आद्यन्तवद् अवस्तु यत् दीपश्चक्षुश्च रूपं च ज्योतिषो न पृथक् भवेत्. एवं धीः खानि मात्राश्च न स्युरन्यतमात् बुद्धेर्जागरणं स्वप्नः सुषुप्तिरिति चोच्यते. मायामात्रमिदं राजन् नानात्वं प्रत्यगात्मनि यथा जलधरा व्योम्नि भवन्ति न भवन्ति च ब्रह्मणीदं तथा विश्वम् अवयव्युदयाप्ययातो सत्यं हि अवयवः प्रोक्तः सर्वावयविनामिह विनार्थेन प्रतीयेरन् पटस्येवाङ्गतन्तवः यत् सामान्यविशेषाभ्याम् उपलभ्येत सभ्रमः अन्योन्यापाश्रयात् सर्वम् आद्यन्तवदवस्तु यतो विकारः ख्यायमानोऽपि प्रत्यगात्मानमन्तरा न निरूप्योऽस्त्यणुरपि स्याच्चेच्चित् सम आत्मवतो न हि सत्यस्य नानात्वम् अविद्वान् यदि मन्यते नानात्वं छिद्रयोर्यद्वत् ज्योतिषोर्वातयोरिव यथा हिरण्यं बहुधा समीयते नृभिः क्रियाभिर्व्यवहारवर्त्मसु एवं वचोभिर्गव भगवान् अधोक्षजः व्याख्यायते लौकिक वैदिकैर्जनैः यथा घनोर्क प्रभवोर्कदर्शितः यर्कांशभूतस्य स चक्षुषस्तमः एवं तु अहं ब्रह्मगुणः तदीक्षितः ब्रह्मांशकस्य आत्मनः आत्मबन्धनः घनो यदार्क प्रभवो विदीर्यते चक्षुः स्वरूपं रविमीक्षते तदा यदा हि अहंकार उपाधिरात्मनः जिज्ञासया नश्यति तर्हि अनुस्मरेत् यदैवमेतेन विवेकहेतिना मायामयाहङ्कारणात्मबन्धनं मायामयाहङ्कारणात्मबन्धनं चित्वाच्युतात्मानुभवोऽवतिष्ठते तमाहुः आत्यन्तिकम् अंगसंप्लवम्। ये हो गया बहुत घमासान heavy dosed knowledge. So while listening to it, everybody can doze off. इसी ने बड़ा डोज दिया तो नींद आता है हमको, कोई भी टैबलेट लेते हैं तो ये भी है भवरोग का टैबलेट, ये हेवी हो जाता है आराम। तो मेरे को आप थोड़ा एक आशीर्वाद दो कि मैं ये पूरा एक एक श्लोक आराम से मेरे लिए भी पढ़ूं, आपको भी एक्सप्लेन कर, बिकॉज आई ऑल्सो नीड बोथ टू अंडरस्टैंड फर्स्ट एंड फाइंड द राइट वर्डिंग्स एंड एक्सप्लेनेशन और एग्जाम्पल्स टू एक्सप्लेन। इट बिकम्स ए गुड एक्सरसाइज, कभी कभी करना चाहिए। अब हमको पता है भी कोई भी शास्त्र पढ़े हमको तत्व ही जानना है, अब भागने की बजाय नए शास्त्रों में जिस शास्त्रों में पढ़े उसको अच्छी तरह करें तो हमको उसका सार के द्वारा साधना भी अच्छा होएगा, ये मेरा फीलिंग है। I was having so much of excitement earlier to do so many shastras and all, और सारा खुद ही खत्म हो रहा है, जो पढ़ रहे ठीक पढ़, उसके बाद ये भी चला जाएगा, बस साधना करो। Is it not? This is how the God's blessing helps us, by the way. So now what is talked about is Atyantika Pralaya. In that Atyantika Pralaya, by discovering my essential self, the pseudo self का and उसके सारे नौटंकी का प्रलय हो जाता है at the Vesti level as well as Samasti level. Okay, now straight away instead of touching that way, here how the whole world is there, how the experiences are there, what is Mithya, Bhranti, Jnana, these are all beautiful things. Our Shukadev is explaining to Parikshitji one by one shloka. They're very subtle, very attentive, we have to grasp it. And out of what we are going to speak, 2% also if you grasp, it is of greatest achievement. If nothing is grasped, never feel bad because the subtlety is like that of the subject matter. अगर सुनने के बाद भी समझ नहीं आया, मन में नहीं टिका, तो never ever in spirituality is a failure. Never don't think it's a failure. We have attempted, that's it. The attempt is successful, means attempting itself is success. When keep on attempting, then we start becoming failure. If we becoming successful, there will be no failure. Now, come to this one or two shlokas today. उतना ही हम आज करेंगे। ही के भगवान कहते हैं, it is over now. शक्तयः लयः प्राकृतिको हि एषः पुरुष अव्यक्तयोः यदा शक्तयः संप्रलीयन्ते विवशः कालविधृतः. So where the Hiranyagarbha Purusha and all the prakritis, all the shaktis enter into the Mula Prakriti Avastha because of the power of the Kala, which is Bhagavan's Rupa. That time it is called as Prakritika Laya. 22 done. Now we will not touch the topic. 23 Bhagavan starts saying the introduction to the Prakriti Atyantika Pralaya. The first thing itself is a big bang, big blast. You know, each of these shlokas, because Parikshit ka bhi जाने का time हो रहा है, Bhagavan cannot explain like he explains in as in the Prakarana Granthas. Straight away he'll have to tell in the Upanishadic level only. So to Parikshit is prepared from last 7 days of so many 18,000 shlokas. And he's very highly qualified, matured. तो उनको समझ में आता है. तो हम भी कोशिश करेंगे. Now the statement of facts. What is that one? Buddhi indriya artha rupena jnanam bhati tad ashrayam. If this one thing is sorted out, all bandhanam is over, moksha comes to us. What is the meaning of this sentence? Buddhi means antakarana. Indriya means 12 indriyas we have. Then the artha, what is the word? Artha means the outer objects. So there are outer objects of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. More than that, there is nothing in the world. So these Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha are received by our Jnanendriyas. Okay, reciprocation is done through the Karmendriyas is an action. Okay? So then behind that is Antakarana or not there? Is there or not? It is there. Therefore, the Buddhi, the Antakarana, the Indriyas, the 10 of them or 5 of them. Then all the outer objects of names and form, infinite they are in quantity, but they are classified only in 5. शब्द स्पर्श रूप रसगंधा, उसके अलावा दुनिया में और कुछ है ही नहीं. उसी का स्थूल रूप में हम देखते हैं स्थूल इंद्रियों से, सूक्ष्म रूप में हम मन में देखते हैं वृत्तियों के द्वारा. Is it not? That's only the whole world is nothing but Pancha Bhautika and Pancha Vishaya Rupa. Now these Pancha Vishayas and the Indriyas and the Antakarana. Listen the next that blasting sentence. They're all nothing but pure Jnanam of Paramatma only appearing. And that Jnanam is the ashrayam for all these three. This is the only riddle which never gets sorted unless Ishvara Guru Kripa से हमको that intuitive sublime intellect मिलता है. एक बार ये sorted हो गया, then you don't need to study any शास्त्र, हो गया आपका. So whole world is what? The Jnata, the Antakarana. The Karanams, the medium of Jnanam called as Indriyas. And the Gneyam, the outer world of objects, Artha, Shabda, Sparsa, Rupa, Gandha. This we have studied in Mandukya Upanishad in the Alata Shanti. With the Bhashyam, we have seen it. You remember that. Those beautiful, all those Karikas through which our Bhashyakara has explained all that. Karika given by Gaudapada, Bhashyakara gives the Bhashya. So, all the outer world of objects supported by the consciousness. If the consciousness is not there, then the objects of which we have knowledge, we can never have awareness of them. So too, the Indriyas, if the Chaitanya Atma is not there behind them, they cannot function. So too, the Antakarana with the Chaitanya Atma is not there behind, they cannot also work. Therefore, one Chaitanya Paramatma only is expressing as here the Jnata, there the Gneyam, and the medium of Jnanam called as Indriyas. How do you prove that? This is the proof. This is called Anvaya Vyatireka Paddhati. व्हाट इज अन्वय व्यतिरेक पद्धति कि आप उसको गौर से ढूंढ कर देखोगे ना, चैतन्य परमात्मा ही दिखता है. दिस कॉल्ड अन्वय. एंड व्यतिरेक पद्धति क्या है? व्हेन यू टेक आउट द चैतन्य परमात्मा फ्रॉम देम, दे आर नॉट देयर. एन एग्जांपल ऑफ द ऑर्नामेंट्स ऑफ गोल्ड. So the Anvaya Paddhati of discovering gold in the ornaments is what? Look at every part of the ornament. Every minutest part also of the ornament. Do you see the gold and gold and gold and gold alone or not? Therefore, gold is Anvita in all the ornaments. If the gold is Anvita, then where is ornament? Half of the answer is given. सेकंड हाफ, चलो ठीक है, दूसरी तरह क्या कहते हैं? यू हैव एन ऑर्नामेंट ना, चलो ठीक है, तुम अपना ऑर्नामेंट रख लो, मेरे को गोल्ड दे दो. मेरे को गोल्ड दे दो भाई, तुम ऑर्नामेंट रख लो, है ना? यू वांट कीप योर नेकलेस बट प्लीज गिव मी ऑल ऑफ योर गोल्ड. The gold दे दो मेरे को नेक्स्ट. Then what happens without the gold? Is there any necklace or any ornament? This is called Vyatireka Paddhati. In the Anvaya, Paramatma alone is there in everything is discovered. In the Vyatireka, when the Paramatma is taken away from that, that object is not at all existing. That is discovered. Then the summary of the Anvaya Vyatireka is what? The summary or the essence or the outcome is what? The gold alone is there in the form of ornaments. There is nothing called as a gold or ornament real apart from the ornament. In the same way, Brahman है इसलिए जगत है. हर जगह ब्रह्म जगत में व्याप्त है. Remove the Brahma Satchidananda, Jagat never remains. Therefore, Brahman alone is there in the form of the Jagat. Secondly, there is no Jagat other than apart from independent of the truth or the reality or Parabrahma. See, Jagat Vilakshanam Brahma, Brahmana Anyat Nakinchana, Brahma Anyat Bhati Chet Mitya, Yatha Marumarichika. Is it not? This is how we have to become subtler in our thinking, in our understanding. और ये सबको नहीं मिलता है ज्ञान सुनने को, because वो तो अभी अभी अलग अलग लेवल पे है. We were also at that time, at that level few lives back. Maybe in some earlier lives we have done worship our gurus and all our devatas properly and did lot of punya karma. Many must have blessed us. Therefore, in this life and maybe from earlier few lives, we are slowly are getting chance to listen to it. And you people, you see after a few years back, months back, how much you are lost in your own outer vyavahara, outer activities, outer projects, outer programs. लाख भगवान ने बताया हमको, भैया ये सत्य नहीं है, परमात्मा ही सत्य है, हम उसको छोड़ने को राजी नहीं थे. That was our prarabdha. Now slowly every one of us are quietening our minds, listening to the tattva through the shastra, trying to apprehend it. It's only a beginning. Then we go on doing it again and again, again and again. Then we discover first in the intellectual apprehension or understanding that the self is real, on that whatever is projected called as Rupa Nama is unreal. Then when that Rupa Nama is transcended on the seat of meditation, then we discover the self in experience. With the experience, when we look back, Are, that alone is there. That is what he is saying. Buddhi Indriya Artha Rupena Jnanam Eva Bhati. And which Jnanam? Tad Ashrayam. That Jnanam which is support of all these three. Whenever you use this word Jnanam, it is a Gnapti, it is Shuddha Chaitanya Tattva. Keep on contemplating. It is not available to everybody. कुछ लोगों को तो ऐसे ज्ञान दो तो भाग ही जाएंगे, हमको क्या बता रहे हो भाई, हम तो खाने पीने के लिए आए, हमको थोड़ा आशीर्वाद दो, हमको दुख ऐसा ब्लेसिंग दो कि मेरे बेटे का शादी हो जाए, बेटी का ये हो जाए, और पोते का तोते का ये हो जाए, और मुझे सारे गहने मिले. People ask all this. If you tell them the tattva, they run away. Everybody is not fit for this. Some people are happy, मैं कृष्ण का चरण पकड़ूंगा, एंड कृष्णा से, अरे छोड़ यार, आई हैव टू गो समवेयर. कब तक पकड़ोगे उनको? ये भगवान इसने भागे गोपिकाओं को बिना बताए. ये अटैचमेंट यूजलेस फेलोस. देन ही सेड टू सेंट उद्धवा, उनको थोड़ा आत्मज्ञान दे के आओ, बुद्धू लोग फंस गए और मेरे को फंसा रहे. They went and did it. They becomes attracted. Without tattva jnana, your emotional commotion of all devotion to Krishna irritates Krishna only. And in giving irritation to others, you can't call it as love. Is it not? Love gives happiness, not irritation. Because even how much of prema you have, it is only Dvaita, no? द्वैत हमेशा कुछ को दुख ले ही आता है. केवल अद्वैत ज्ञान में देयर इज नोबडी टू whom you do the irritation और कुछ नहीं. कोई करना है तो खुद को करना पड़ता है. Anyway, coming to the point, we have discussed first line, buddhi indriya artha rupena jnanam eva bhati tad ashrayam. So the pure conscious self alone, which is the support of the antakarana, indriyas and outer objects of the world, is expressing as those three. And when you ask question how and why, then we talk about the anirvachaniya shaktiya paramatma, the Maya. And all that is only to answer your question why to some extent. But the final answer is what? When you transcend the Atha, transcend the Indriya, transcend the Buddhi, and discover yourself in your own experience, that Jnapti, then you yourself will be dropping the question. Please remember, in Vedanta, question का जवाब नहीं होता. In Vedanta, question को छोड़ा जाता है. Because about what you are questioning, about the world, which is not at all there. How do you answer where from the snake has come on the rope? Can any of the question be answered? No, because snake itself is not real. Then what is done? By discovering the rope, the question is dropped there about snake. Dissolving the question is the answer, not solving the questions or problems. You cannot, because it's not real. क्योंकि इसलिए देखो प्रॉब्लम, कुछ भी समझाओ बंदों को, कभी भी सेटिस्फेक्शन नहीं होता, क्योंकि समझाने वाला विषय, समझाने वाली बुद्धि, ये सब माया की बातें. But when you discover the self, there's no answer at all, because there's no question at all. इसलिए बातें लोग ना इतने करते हैं, बकते रहते हैं, आर्ग्यू करते रहते हैं, as long as they are in ignorance. The moment they are told the fact by the proof, चुप. लाइक किसी बंदे ने कोई बात से चुराया, वो कहेगा मैं नहीं चुराया, मैं क्यों जाता हूँ, मेरे पास सब कुछ है, सब. इतना एक घंटा आलू करने वाला, यू शो हिम द वीडियो ऑफ दैट वॉट एवर द सीसीटीवी, देखो. विल ही से एनीथिंग आफ्टर दैट? बोलेगा नहीं वो. In the same way, when the truth is realized, all vidyate hridaya grandhe siddhyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani, only tasmin drishtya pravane. Therefore, to some extent, entertaining the question answer session. Later on, jignasa say know the self. When the self is known, questions never rise, because the truth discovered. All the question answers are only there in the untruth, and they can never be answered. Nobody can be answered. Nobody is. That's why in Bhagavad Purana, 100 or 80 questions Parikshit ji asked, but only 30-40 are answered by Shukadev ji. अब बाकी का जरूरत नहीं भाई. 30 क्वेश्चन के आंसर से ही मुक्ति मिल गया, बाकी 50 की क्या जरूरत है? नो नीड. एवरीथिंग नीड नॉट बी आंसर्ड. यू अंडरस्टूड? These are very sublime things. So, buddhi indriyartha rupena jnanam bhati tadashrayam is we have to work out first intellectually, thereafter in experience through contemplation and meditation. Say it 3 times. Buddhindriyartha rupena jnanam bhati tadashrayam. Buddhindriyartha rupena jnanam bhati tadashrayam. Buddhi indriya artha rupena tad ashrayam jnanam eva bhati. Bhati means appear. So the conscious self, which is the support of these three, alone is appearing as these three things. So because if you are not conscious of buddhi, buddhi is not there. If you are not conscious of indriya, they are not there. If you are not conscious of the objects, they are not there. And not only all these three, but every minutest of the part also of it is not there when you are not aware of it. Therefore, awareness is permeating everything. If awareness alone is permeating everything, then where is that thing? Only in the bhati. You know? If the gold alone is there in and through the ornament, where is the ornament then? Only in its absence and only in the appearance. Appearance on the gold, absence in itself. You understand? Where is the ornament? It's it is on its own absence. Oh, hai nahi hai. At the maximum, it is in the appearance of the gold. Only appearance. Oh, whatever appearance is called as Maya or Mithya or Moha. And what is the solution for Mithya Maya appearance? Just to drop it and catch the reality. That's it. This is how the Vedanta guides us. Second line is what? Drushyatva avyatirekabhyam adi antavat avastu yato. This is what? Drushyatva. All these three things are Drushya to the Shuddha Chaitanya Atma, Buddhi, Indriya, and Arthas. Tomorrow I'll talk a little more on this. Then Avyatirekabhya means what? That's no Drushyatva is Anvaya Paddhati or Vyatireka Paddhati. Then the second one is called Avyatireka means Anvaya Paddhati. Means what? They can never exist without the Paramatma. ये दृश्य है परमात्मा के और परमात्मा के बिना वो रह ही नहीं सकते. So drishyatva avyatirekabhyam. Because of these two reasons. Third one is what? Adi antavatu. All these buddhi, indriya, prana have a beginning. They also have an end also. Therefore, all these three are avastu, unreal. Reality is that jnanam only, the gnapti only, the shuddha consciousness only, which can be only experienced, which cannot be explained by any means or any words, or cannot be shown by any of the parameters, nor it can be comparatively shown or explained. This is how it is. So, second line is Dushyatva Avyatirekabhyam Adi Antavad Avastu Yato. So, Adi Antavan hai, दृश्य है और परमात्मा के बिना वो नहीं रह सकते. इन तीनों कारणों से it is not independently existing vastu, therefore it is called avvastu, therefore it is unreal. But still appears, therefore we give mithya value, maximum. But inquire about it, it is only unreal. Thereafter, example again is given. Deepaha chakshuhu rupam jyotisha na pruthak evam dhihi khani matraha anyamatat anyatamat rutat na syuhu. Same thing said with another example, like a spoon feeding Shukadev is giving towards the end to Parikshitji. We also will do in that way only, slowly and steadily. Tomorrow that we'll study. Again, the next sloka, all the three avasthas are to the buddhi, not to Paramatma. Buddhi means antakarana. Thereafter, in the next sloka, again the clouds example is given. Then, in this way, every sloka is very potential, sublime, beautiful Vedanta Jnana. Through this Jnanam, when we transcend all which is overimposed, discover the pure self, experience, that is called Atyantika Pralayam. Naimittika ho gaya, Prakrit ho gaya, this is Atyantika. And what is Nitya Pralayam? Arey, every moment things are changing. That is Nitya Pralayam, wo to 2 minutes mein bata denge humko. What I was when I started the class, I am not the same. I am grown in my age by whatever 1.5 2 hours. So too my body got modified, my mind got little changed, buddhi got little changed, good or bad, don't ask me. It's called नित्य प्रलयम. कुछ भी चीज एक माइक्रो सेकंड के लिए भी सेम नहीं है. ये बुद्धू लोग वी थिंक यार 20 साल पहले मैंने नदी को देखा वहां, अब भी आके देख रहा हूँ. बुद्धू 20 साल से अब तक मिलियंस ऑफ गैलन्स ऑफ वाटर हैव चेंज्ड. Is it not? But we think that it is same. This is called nitya pralaya. Tomorrow we'll see that. Sarvam Krishnarpana Om Shanti. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate Om. Shanti Shanti Shantari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namah. Bol Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan Ki Jai. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः प्राणाय पानाय व्यानाय उदानाय समानाय ब्रह्मणे ब्रह्मार्पणम् ब्रह्मविर्ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव देवेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्म कर्म समाधिना मध्ये मध्ये मृदुबानुत्तरापोष्णमस्त पाद प्रक्षालनाचमन ताम्बूलनीराजनाञ्च दर्शयामि. Sorry friends, thank you. Hi Rama Rama Rama. Don't be having any thought of disinterest to listen to the Shastra. Just maintain that inquisitiveness and pray to the Lord as I do every day to give those abilities to understand whatever is not understood yet. In His infinite grace, the Lord also slowly, steadily makes our intellects subtle, required enough for making us understand this. अब उनके चरण में है, उनकी कृपा में है, तो काहे को घबराता है तू? काहे को तू घबराता है हे मन? प्रभु की कृपा जब तुम पे हो तो काहे को तू घबराता है हे मन? अच्छा बुरा छोटा बड़ा सुख और दुख में फर्क न पाए काहे को तू घबराता है. This is a good भजन. ओम न तत्व सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र नीलमेघ श्याम नित्यगन मोहन बाल गोपाल वेणुगाल वेदांत भक्त जनाधार परम दया वार्ति मुक्ति संदाय गीता पार्थ साध रूप कृष्ण सर्वमंगलम सद्गुरु सर्वमंगल. ओम न तत् नारायण अवतार नमो ब्रह्मा आप वेरी में गुरु ब्रह्मा ओ श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय. भगवत महापुराण की जय. श्री वेद व्यास सुखदेव सूतादि भागवताचार्य की जय. बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. बोलो भाई सदगुरुदेव भगवान की जय. समस्त श्रोता भक्त साधक सेवक उपासक जिज्ञासु गण की जय. आज के शास्त्र आनंद की जय. थैंक यू. Om Guru, I am really indebted to you so much. I don't know how to clear it. And because of you, we are able to study Shastra. भगवान ये सब ऋण चुकाने के लिए जो करवाना है मेरे से कराओ. Stay for 2-3 minutes, come back for our little Adhyatma Ramayana Adhyanam.